Welcome, guys, to another RC Conspiracies. Hold tight. We'll be with you in just a few minutes. If you're joining after we do this live, I'll put the time code down in the description so you can just bypass all of this wait time. Alrighty? Lots to talk about.
Shady silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy. But we are on your side, cracking the RC code. Because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready and put on those tinfoil hats because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC conspiracist, Tony CC. Tony CC. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what is going on, guys? So much news to talk about today. Well, the one that we're, is literally in the title is about the Hot Wheels Tesla, and talk about a conspiracy there. It looks like a spaceship. Who knows? Musk wants to go to space. Maybe he's going to have everybody buy those and hit a button and send us all there. I don't know. Who knows what that Cybertruck is all about, but I got questions. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's from another dimension. What is going on, guys? It's Tuesday night, 9:30, and we got lots to talk about. Lots of things. I'm going to quickly tease you guys with something, though. Oh, crap. Where's that page? That page be gone. Uh-oh. I'm missing it. Everything's kind of all messed up. Had a last-minute freak out because the my soundboard wouldn't turn on. My computer's giving me all these weird, like, something's taking up too much USB power and lots of conspiracies. But this, you guys, right here is something new. Just hit the webs. We were talking about it back at SEMA, and we couldn't get any close-ups of it. Well, here we go. Here we go. CEN Racing has something. I don't know if it's going to come to market, but they've made something for American Force. It's a Ford F450. They've got licensing for it, so that makes me kind of think. I mean, it says Ford right here on. Normally they write CEN and stuff. So if they're printing these out with Ford on it, I have questions about whether or not this is going to come to market. But it has American Force wheels, American Force body, dually. Looks really, really awesome. Check out the mirrors on here. It's for towing trailers. You know what this is. So what do you guys think? This is one photo of it. Now, this was posted by Michael Bosch, and I'm right now over on the RC Junkies page. I did reshare this because it's in a private group. I downloaded the pictures you're allowed to on Facebook. It says download. Screenshotted it and gave him a shout out for seeing this, but he saw it at a car show and took some pictures of it. Let's take a look. Here's a blue version of it with silver rims. And this one, I say, look at even on the top, there's dual moonroofs on it. It's sick. The bed actually tucks down in there. You can see in the back here because it's raised up for the posts. The body post right there. I'm liking this thing. You don't have some like real scale trucks, and this thing's looking pretty scale to me. F450. That's the way to do it up. That front end looks amazing. So that's aftermarket bumper and stuff on it, though. Here's a look underneath. You can see the way that they've done the link system here. Very scale looking. Oop. I thought this would happen. I wanted to zoom in. So look at this. We've gone ahead and I've got some screen grabs here we can zoom in on. So here's Michael Bosch posted it to RC Junkies. Let's get to this bottom part and let's zoom in a little bit here. See what we can see. Really long chassis on this guy. You can see the transmission plate is here. They've got basically an extension that the your drive shaft hits here that then transfers basically down to here. Kind of like a transfer case, it looks like. Front end straight to the front axle. Now these look like the axles on the B50 and HL150. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but they look very similar. But a lot of the rest of this looks completely new and different. Here you can see the dualies. Pretty good size based on, you can see his hand here in the shot. So what are you guys saying? Some people are saying they prefer the grayish. Blue one looks better. Ryan's RC's in here. I don't think this is for crawling. I think this is for just driving out in the street looking good. Yeah, Chris. JT RC shirt. So I actually have two of these because I told him I bought one and then I never saw it. I'm like, maybe I didn't actually buy it. So I ordered it again and then it came in. Spreadshirt takes a while sometimes, or Teespring or whoever. Yeah. Chris Maruri says, I made a video of stabbing my 6S LiPo battery. That I want to see. I do want to see that. That's dangerous. I do not recommend doing that at home. But I wouldn't mind watching it. So Jeff's saying he bought one. What did you buy? You buy one of the Cybertrucks? $400 by... There's a little video of it running. We'll get to that later, guys. That's kind of the main topic. I'm going to get through some of this stuff. This just hit. I wanted to talk about it up front so people would know that it's happening since it's not in the title. But I'm really interested in this truck. I'm going to have to make a few phone calls, talk to a few people, talk to CEN and say, what's up, man? What is this thing? Is this coming to market? I really like it. Looks like, look at the body here, guys. It comes in. You see that? Right here, I'm moving my mouse in case, there, now it's nice and big. But it looks like the body comes in here, and there might even be a little bolt there or there. I'm seeing like a glint. I wonder if it's a two-piece body, because I am seeing something down here on that body. But it looks like it wraps and comes in. That could make for some interesting build stuff if that's the case. Don't know. Let's see if we can see one of these close-ups. Zoom in here on the blue one. Oops. Yeah, there's the moon roof. You can see the bed drops in a little bit there. It looks like it could be a two-piece. That or they've done some pretty cool detailing with their paint job here in that shadow line there. But it looks two-piece to me. So this one's got, it's got windshield wipers on it, 3D printed it looks like. Pretty slick. Keep doing that. I keep doing that little emoji thing. Oh, here, maybe this is a better shot of the side. I'm going to get to the comments here in a second, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think of these, what questions you might have that we can try and look at for it. I love the red rims. I mean, my ideal would be black rims, but I'm guessing two-piece based on these pictures, especially the underbody shot of it. Because you don't see that kind of detailing here in the door crevices and that. That'd be cool if it was two-piece. Be cool to tow trailers with this thing. Yeah, I mean, that right there, that line is making me think, and where it cuts in here, two-piece body. All right, so let's get over to the comments and see what you guys are saying in the chat. So, Propaganda is in here. Sean's RC Adventures. The Tank RC's in here. What's going on, guys? Lots of people in the chat. Some people are liking the blue one better. NorCal RC. Yeah, man, thanks for the wall ad. He's got this RC bash spot, and he's gone ahead and put a whole bunch of spray paint all over that wall, a bunch of channel logos and stuff. It's really cool. So Blaze Corcoran says he thinks it's a two-piece as well. So I'm wondering what this is going to be. It's Brad. Is asking if it's a 10 scale. I think it looks 10 scale because I think these axles are the ones that you see on the HL150. It looks like this might have extensions on the rear for sure, but I can't tell from these shots. But it does look like a longer end piece of the axle here, because the way that they made these was so that they could adjust them wider or not as wide. And so the ends are able to be adjustable, and then basically your drive shaft on the inside, the metal drive shaft, can change length based on the car. That's why it's the same axle used in their Fiat and their Jimny, and then they pull that out into the other monster trucks and they do it a little bit wider. So Justin says two-piece would make it move and shift like a real truck does. Yeah, I think so. I'm liking it. I think it's cool. I think it's different. You don't see things like this, like scale on-road trucks. So the trucks that we do see that are on-road are always slammed, and they're like drift trucks or like the Viteras. So this is a totally different type of truck. This looks like, you know where this would look really good? This would look really good on RC Sparks when they're doing YouTube Gold. You know, the boss man pulls up in the F450 onto the site, and that would be legit. So, Aaron, if you're watching, this might be up your alley, man. Roll on up in a scale F450. I know you're a Ford guy. I've seen your Raptor. All right, what do we got going on in the chats here? Says Chris Watson, that looks way bigger than 10th scale. I think it looks like probably a true 10th scale. It looks big. It's a long wheelbase for sure, especially because they did that extension there on that rear drive shaft. So it's a big boy. I think it'll impress. Because some of those, like the 10 scale Viteras and that, are pretty small. But no, Chris Watson, I think you're right. I think it is a big truck. It looks like a big truck to me, especially when you're seeing it on the table as well. I'll jump back over here for you guys. So there we go. I mean, you're looking at it on a table, how it's stretching from that back part to the front. When it's on an angle, it's looking pretty good size. Again, with his hand in the frame there. So, gives some sense of how big it is. All right, so that was one of the things that we were going to talk about. Now that we're there, we're through it. I wanted to get that up front before people know we're going to talk about the Cybertruck. But this is actually conspiracy fodder. What is this? Is it going to come to market? Please say it's going to come to market, CEN. Please say it's going to come to market. I would drive one of these. All right, so here we go. Back to some of the stuff we normally do on the front end. Guys, don't forget, CCxRC products are available at your nearest Teespring store for CCxRC. Online, all kinds of stuff. You don't have to buy them. I just think you'd look cooler if you did. While my battery's charged podcast, guys, we do have the RC Conspiracies podcast, which is just an audio version of this one. But my main podcast that I do several times a week is the While My Battery's Charged podcast. We've just done 3 RC profiles on it. RC Network, Rich Morgan, JTRC. We had him on, and we had on Jason and Ethan Saunders to talk about RC monster truck racing and going to Orlando. So, yeah. Trax RC, what have you missed? You have missed the new vehicle by CEN Racing, we think. I mean, the axles are definitely CEN. It's a CEN. We saw it at SEMA. That's where they take a lot of stuff. The question is whether or not it comes to market. There's a lot of 3D printed parts on here, it looks like. So, whether they just did it to mock up for the show, because actually I have in here, I had another CEN picture to show you guys. Here's all of the upcoming stuff on the show. So there you go. I don't know where it went to. Oh, maybe it was this. Like they had this Fury off-road. This, I don't think ever came to market in this body style, but they did this up to go with this Ford truck. But this one did not have Ford in the front of it. It just looks like a Ford. And it said CEN in the front. So the fact that the other one does say Ford on the front makes me think that there's some licensing action going on with it. So that is making me kind of happy about that. So the While My Battery's Charged podcast, if you guys do like podcasts, some of these are longer. The RC profiles are going to be longer because there's lots to talk about and learn about from people. JTRC went through basically an RC history because he started way back in the 80s with a bunch of cool RCs and went through the progression as they grew and got better. So that was a really cool profile. Rich Morgan talked about how he got into it like I did, maybe 10 years ago, and with a Slash, and then started his channel, which is an awesome channel, RC Network. And then Ethan Saunders started when he's 5. He's only 13, but he's winning races, doing all this stuff, sponsored by J Concepts. I think he's on the Hobby Wing race team as well. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what you missed. But if you do like podcasts, this is a new one that just started as well on the Horizon RC podcast. This is by Horizon Hobby. And so they did one with ARRMA and now with Todd Hodge of the Surface Category Manager here. If we click on over to it, because, Jason Dearden was the founder. And it's with the Horizon Hobby president, Chris Dickerson, and marketing director, Steve Petrato. So those are the 2 hosts, and then they're going to bring in different people. It sounds like it's going to be pretty cool what they're doing. It says, as we interview RC industry legends, celebrities, and community influencers. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool podcast. I've started listening to it when I saw it on Facebook hit. And, yeah, I enjoy podcasts. I can listen to them when I'm in the car. Or out doing things, and they're great. They're great things to have. As far as what we're doing CCxRC news-wise, this right here is what we've been working on, and I'm excited about it. We've got this new crawler course that we're working on for the micros, and it's turning out pretty cool. And we're using a lot of plaster cloth. I picked up at my local hobby town. Got like a 3-pack bag of it. And we've gone through about 1.5 of those bags of it, and partly because we don't know what we're doing. My son and I worked on it some today, but it's pretty cool. We're going to do it in pieces so we can put it together different ways, change it up, and make it so it's not always the same to do. So, yeah. Noise Fast RC. Noise Fast RC says, so do you think CEN is really going to make this? I don't know. They're coming out with a lot of new stuff these days, so it's very possible. They've kind of hit the market again with this new lineup of the solid axle monster trucks, and these are solid axles as well, so it's very, very possible. Travis Paul says Ethan Saunders is a beast. Yeah, he is, man. He is a beast for sure. NorCal RC. What was found on the road, man? Just saw that comment. Chris Watson says he's going to grab a shirt, guys. Thank you, Chris. Very much for that. It does help a little bit. We get a little bit of money from the t-shirt sales. Not a lot. We make it so it's cheap for you guys still to get normal pricing. And I'd rather people just be wearing them more than making money off them. So RC Voodoo's in the house. Yeah, he's saying give a thumbs up on the way in the door. Always. All right. He retracts his thumbs up. Come on now, man. But as you can see, the crawler course is looking pretty awesome. Got my Blue Crush racing sticker on there. This is part 2 of it. I did have another part that we built, which I'd posted earlier. You can check it out on Instagram, that kind of stuff. I just want to give you a quick update of news that we've got going on. The Team Associated Rival MT10 is in. People aren't sure what to think about it. I think it's pretty awesome. The Helion Avenge is what it's based off of. They've changed out electronics and wheels and stuff like that, tires. But overall, I think that what people loved about the Avenge, they're going to love about this truck as well. Nice small size. It's actually sitting right back behind me there because I'm going to be doing a video with it size comparison wise. But it's about the size of, like, I'd say a Stampede or a Granite. Much smaller than the Max or the Creighton 4S lineup. But I don't have the Granite anymore, and I'm sad about that. Actually, there's many days I wish I had it. And so this is going to be great because it's that small size to be able to just carry around. Nice and lightweight. And if it's a good basher, just run it off a 3S battery. Even 2S, it's stinking fast. So we did the Wide Max kit. I was asking for it after the first video. Said, why does this thing flip all the time? And they came out with it. So that's pretty cool that they did. And, when I kind of feel like they knew that there was a problem because it came out so fast, like it had already been in development. So it feels like, yeah, we should probably change this. I think if I were Traxxas, I would start moving to selling them with it already installed. It kind of feels like it's a mistake too, because for pricing, Traxxas has it priced pretty low based on Traxxas standards of pricing. So with the shocks and the 4 arms and all that, it just feels like it's a little bit cheaper than normal. I could be wrong. Maybe that's standard fare for their arms, but it felt like it wasn't too bad. But yeah, so we have that. We have the Kyosho stuff that's been hitting. You guys know the massive Primal RC and things like that. RC Propaganda says, how would they not test before releasing a truck? Well, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did test it, and I'm sure that they kind of felt the same things that we did with it flipping all the time. So, Tony, you should be doing that with a Mini Z crawler. Brad, the Mini Z crawlers aren't out. I keep calling my Hobbytown asking if they've got them yet, but I just heard from RC Review that they don't actually release till March 12th. That was the first time I'd heard a date on it. Because I'd started seeing people get them, and I thought, well, and I think even they were taking orders at RPP Hobby like right away, and maybe the first batch sold out, and now we got to wait for the second. I don't know, but I can't get my hands on one. But yeah, so that's that on that. But we're going to talk about that because I do have some questions. We're going to show a little bit of his RC review about that video. But yeah. RC Propaganda says they just passed that off to the people, and yet we still buy. Oh yeah, man, it's still a big one. I mean, like a big seller, and it's crazy basher. So yeah, you go crazy. How's it going? 11 Charlie in the house, back from the USME, the scale truck event was down in Florida. He and Sean's RC and a bunch of people went down there. Thanks for all the likes, guys. You guys were asking people to do it, and that number jumped. New car from Carisma RC. They just kind of posted 14 hours about. Get ready to start with a long wheelbase Ford F-150. So they took like their old 76 Ford, and they went ahead and they made it a longer wheelbase on it. I think it looks pretty sweet. I haven't actually seen one run in person, but I've seen Jeremy from Big Squid run his, and he seems to like it all right. Definitely curious about it. It's a nice looking truck for sure. But that was something new that I saw pop up. Have you guys, any of you guys run one of these? USTE 11 Charlie says, thank you. Bob Bake, Altered RC said the same thing. Everybody's correcting me. Thank you. I don't know all the things. Says it's got a forward battery position. Perfect platform for trail running. Looks great. A little bouncy through there as far as the flex goes. Just a sweet looking style. The DR10, that's something I'm waiting for. You guys know, some of you know that I picked up the Slash to do a street eliminator with. So I've got the wheels just came in from J Concepts, and I've got the body from Proline that I've got, a Nova, and but I'm loving this DR10. It's going to be way cheaper than doing one of the Slash builds. I don't know if it'll be better or not, but it comes brushless already, and it has the sway bars. You don't have to try and figure that out, how to do it. So it's ready to go pretty much out of the box, and it looks amazing, especially with this custom paint job that John Schultz had done for his. Moving on over, ARRMA. If you guys want to get into ARRMA videos, I just saw this posted, and they did this with a compilation of some of their favorites from the ARRMA 10th anniversary Outcast giveaway. They had everybody post their videos, and if you want to get in to something like this in the future, it's hashtag ARRMA HOF for Hall of Fame. And there was also another way they said that you could send in your photos or your videos to get in on that. But yeah, Jam RC is the Nova overdone. Yeah, well, I just wanted something easy. So the Proline one was the easiest body that I could find without all the front ends having to be cut and pieced in and all that kind of jazz. I just want to do it matte, like gunmetal gray with a black wing and call it a day. No trim work, no nothing, just gunmetal gray, and I'm done. I just want to run it. I'm probably going to destroy that one anyway, and then I'll probably get somebody else to make a body for me, paint it for me. If you guys haven't heard, AxialFest has opened up registration. If you're on the West Coast, they've got it for Donner, and then on the Midwest-ish, East Coast-ish people can go to the Badlands Park in Attica, Indiana. They're going to be doing an AxialFest for us there for the first year. Normally it's only been out west, but yeah, they're trying to hook us up in case we want to try and get out to one. It's kind of hard for me to get to the one in California, but Indiana's a little bit more doable for sure. So by a show of hands in the chat, is anybody going to go? I'm going to try and get it on the calendar. But I've got Orlando. I've got the No Limit World Finals, both in May. RC Fest, if I go to that, is in June at the beginning of the month. So it's like 3 out of 6 weeks that'll be gone for the weekends. And then this would make it like 4 times in the 2 months. Being completely gone. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. I would love to. I'd love to get to a scale trail event like this, but we'll see. It's a bit of a drive for me, that's for sure. Bit of a drive. Other news, going back to Freestyle RC here. They first of all have awesome chassis. You guys have seen my ZRD full cage like this. They've got their Pro ZRD and the ZRD cageless. I have the Pro C as well that I race. But what they did was they came out with a servo mount kit on axle for the CEN HL150 or the B50. I just posted a video of one that I had custom made for me by Jason Saunders, who we had on the podcast, who also built my retro chassis, the one I call the hacksaw chassis, that he kind of cut and all that out of metal, steel, aluminum stuff, metals, manly stuff for my retro. Put a bunch of weight in it for me. But yeah, 11 Charlie's asking, when am I coming to Orlando? Coming for the Monster Jam World Finals, May 1st through 3rd, but I got to get there before the 1st for some meetings and stuff that they're doing about the event. So yeah, we'll get back to the comments here in a second. After this is a good break point, I think. So yeah, this is a pretty cool setup. I have mine right here. Came with some Freestyle RC stickers even. Right here. And these things, it's too bright up there. Pretty cool. I'll show you how they did it. Basically, it mounts to the back of the axle. Try and zoom in here. So the posts actually attached to the back of the axle kind of come up and swing out wide enough to mount the servo, but it actually screws through where they already had screws going through the axle holding a plate on. Very clever design. Josh there's a great shot of it, how they did it. Josh makes some really great stuff. Very simple way to do it. Couple of screws and you're all set to go, and they're already in this package. Looks great. They've got a beefy servo on there, it looks like. But yeah, there's the brackets, how they mount into the axle, and then where you screw your servo in. Very simple, but boy, does it make a big difference in the way that truck handles. And I got one of these so that I can put on my B50, because when I sent that one to New York to have Jason, fabricate something for me. And so he did, and it's great. But I didn't want to use it on that truck I sent him. I put it on my race truck, but I don't want to put the B50 back together with that old system. And so one of these is going to go on that. So that is what's going on there. Back to the chat. Lots of people adding each other. The Tank RC is getting everybody's attention. So, 11 Charlie, I answered your question. They're talking about Attica in New York. Chris Watson talking about parts and stuff he got for his. Propaganda says AxialFest, woot woot. It's in his backyard, so it sounds like he's going to the one in California. Donner. So I want to know who's going, if anybody's going to the Indiana one, if I'd see you guys there. That always makes it more interesting and makes me want to try and get going. So, Jesse B. Motorsman, we'll see ya. The Tank says you better get the story straight or else it's going to be a conspiracy. Did I mess something up? Uh-oh. It's very possible. Going back to the bottom. NorCal, man, thank you. NorCal RC. Chris Watson, we didn't talk about the Hot Wheels truck. We didn't. It's coming up next. That's why this is a good break to catch up, take a breath, and get ready to talk about this amazing truck by Hot Wheels. I actually tried to get one, and I found out they were sold out very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, all right. You guys are talking to each other. No questions. Nobody's saying they're going. Trax RC says he's going to be going to RC Fest. Can't make it to the Badlands. That's understandable. All right. Yeah, no, I'm not leaving. We're not going anywhere. It's only 10:07. These things are at least an hour long. That's what we shoot for, at least. Unless I'm sick. And I am getting sick. I was kind of feeling like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel tonight. And then my son wanted to work on the scale course a little bit more, which we did. But then I was like completely covered. And I was having computer issues and little bit of a mess getting things going here. All right, let's get back to it. What do we got? I don't think we quite are jumping to it. Oh, HPI Racing. We've been kind of tracking what they've been doing since we did the little RC Conspiracy about them. And they've got stuff coming. Some of the stuff doesn't interest me. Like the jump shots don't really get my, adrenaline pumping. They were like the king of bashers before ARRMA came on the scene. And so I'm hoping that they release something that goes into that category. So that's what I'm hoping for. But this is a really cool looking truck. The FJ Cruiser body. I'm an FJ Cruiser fan. When they came out, I actually went and looked at it at one. It's kind of like driving a tank is what it felt like because the windows are so short from the inside. But we were about to have a baby, and my wife's like, nah, this ain't going to work. Not going to be a family car. So I was like, bummer. But yeah. So they have some clear bodies, which is what people want for this thing, so they can paint them up how they want. And this Toyota is a sick paint job for this FJ Cruiser, in my opinion. But I love this look. Ivan Stewart kind of stylings for Toyota. It's still my favorite video game ever. Ivan Stewart's Super Off-Road. The red, yellow, blue trucks, with the steering wheels and the nitro button. You just kind of literally spin the wheel and let it spin and, stop it. Man, if I could get that game, I'd have it right behind me right now. Did someone say tank? No, nobody said tank. All right, so Mini Z, Brad was asking about it. I've been asking about it because I want to, support my local hobby towns. I keep saying, when's it going to come in? I did not get it at RPP Hobby when they said they were available there. I know some people in some chats did because I was in a live stream. I think it was the Tank RC's RC talk, which, is more, we should call it RC gibberish, right, Tank? Just kidding. It's an awesome night. Thursday nights are one of my favorite for hanging out. Even if I can't make it in live, I like to be in the comments. Although, Tank, I don't know what it is, but your live streams will not play on my iPhone. No matter what I do, I've deleted the app. I don't know if it's because of the software or whatever, and it doesn't, the YouTube app don't like it, but I know other people say their iPhones do, but I can't get it on my Wi-Fi. I can't get it when I'm just out on T-Mobile. It just spins, but I can see the chat. The chat works. The first reviews are in. Check out all the reviews from our friends at A-Main, XLRC, Fresh Squeeze, Scale Builders Guild, and all of them. And so they did. I did check some of those out, but the one that I did check out was the RC review one because he always shows them like next to other trucks. And when I watch this thing rolling off of this, like you're just driving down a hill and it just falls forward. That has me second guessing whether I really want one or not. I saw some videos of people climbing with it and it did great, but they didn't actually show it going downhill like this. And so it's not even because of the hard body. It's because the other reason that I'm kind of getting cold feet is that it has AA batteries or AAA batteries that are used just like the Mini Zs. So the Mini Zs use AAA. I think this uses AA batteries. And that adds a lot of weight. So if 4 AAAs. 4 AAA batteries. It's 51 grams versus a 600 milliamp LiPo at 14 grams. Crazy. So that's a lot of weight to put up front. And you have to use that type of mounting system. If you could swap that out, you could do some other stuff with it, battery placement, all of that. Just put a little bracket up top here for such a light 600 milliamp hour battery. So that's what he did here, is he actually just put it in the same compartment. but much smaller, much lighter. And so it's a pretty good mod for it. But, you know, that's some extra work. Hopefully they'll have a kit for it that will, see here he's coming down. It's not flipping over. And that was pretty high, the rear end on that. I love the look of it. Scale-wise, the body's awesome. And I was actually building our course, thinking about getting one of these and all of the micros I'd have. So that's part of it. Drag brake is set too high is what Tank is saying. That could be. I still think that much weight from those batteries is crazy to put up front like that. So that high. So what do you guys think? I think I'm still going to get it. I mean, but it's pricey for a micro, because I did already order this one here. I couldn't help myself as I was building this course. Ah, shoot. It didn't fix my typo. This new truck right here. This is the one I went with. I went with the silver, dark silver, gray, whatever. They call it silver. SCX24. I liked this one because it had the light bar, and I like the black rims. That's basically it. Black grille. I don't love the silver necessarily. I kind of like this green. What I really like is the Axial logo that they put on the door. But, hey, do we have any questions? We should do that sometime. We should in the chat come up with some questions to ask our buddies at Horizon Hobby. Wouldn't that be fun? Kind of get the answers to our questions live. That'd be crazy. I'm not going to do it, Horizon. Maybe. We might. I can't promise. If we think it's a good idea, we might do it. Just don't tell anybody. We'll keep that to ourselves. And YouTube people. They don't watch this, so they wouldn't know. So anyway, questions. Chat. Let's get back to you guys. You can see Tank said drag brake is set too high. Chris Watson says he has a low C rock ray and it would roll over if you breathed on it. JD Passlow says I'm a shopping addict. A little bit. Chris Watson, not a crawler, but speaking on rollovers. Trax RC says I prefer the look of the SCX24 rather than the Mini Z 4x4. It's bigger too. If you see them side by side, the Mini Z is pretty small. The tires especially compared to the Mini Z. Plus the Mini Z has so many hop-ups that have come out right now. Brad Kalman says he thinks they're making AAAs and LiPos that are rechargeable. They do make those, and people use them. The problem is you still have the weight of all those metal casings. It just makes it a whole lot harder. Hey, we could do it now, you guys. The questions are still there. I don't know if they're open at the moment, though. RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Steve is in the house. Steve's he's got so many cool things going on. He's building with engines and taking motors out of things and putting batteries in them. So he's taking out electric from one and putting in engines, and he's taking out big motors from others and putting in electric. He can't decide what he wants to do. Does he want to kill the Earth, or does he want to save the polar ice caps? What do you want to do, Steve? I mean, we're all looking in your direction right now for what your plan is. But, no pressure. Michael Plummer looking for a new 1/10 Basher MT10, the way to go. Man, go watch a bunch of Healing Avenge videos. So many people liked it. Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies even liked it when he was comparing it, and I said he even liked it better than the low C Tenacity monster truck back then. So Man, you guys are getting it going quick here in the comments. But yeah, Michael, I like it. But I need to get more runs on it before I say anything. Hey guys, I know this is a little bit off subject, but I have a challenge for everybody. Sweet RCs. All right, what's our challenge? Epic RC Video Productions. My question is, you are now a millionaire. Ha 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 ha. That's a statement. So I'm not going to answer it. You missed your opportunity there, Jack. You could have asked, but you didn't. Now your window is gone. Brad, the Jimny model of that is probably lighter. If it's still running 4 AA or AAA batteries, you still got weight of all of those casings on those batteries. Steve says he's a nut. World domination is his plan. Whether or not it has trees, he doesn't care. Engines in all trucks. RC propaganda's in here. All right, so we actually didn't make it to what we said we were going to make it to in the last break we took. Let's get to it. We still have time to ask questions. Maybe we can ask them about the Hot Wheels Cybertruck and the speeds that it might have, and if they know if Spectrum radios could work with it. Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see. That could be fun. All right. So the Hot Wheels Cybertruck hit the internet yesterday or the day before. I think yesterday. No, 4 days ago. Several days ago. 4 days. These are a day ago. Man, time flies. So it hit several days ago in the last week, and the internet went bat crazy like they did with the real one. I think these ones you could probably throw a 10th scale ball or rock at it, and I think the Windows would do okay, but we don't know because they didn't try in the videos, which would have been cool. CNET has a video with her looking super enthusiastic there. Fresh Squeezed RC, what is going on, my man? You'd be the person to talk to about the Kyosho and the weight up front with those batteries, and if you have a plan for that, or if it's really just a drag brake that RC Review is having issues with it, even without the body just tipping over front heavy. But Fresh Squeezed RC inspired me to do this when I saw him running his Kyosho 4Runner on his little course. I knew I wanted to get one, and my hobby town is supposed to let me know when they come in. And so I started getting prepared ahead of time with a little course to run them on. So, headed to Cali. Very cool. Hoonigan time? Speaking of Hoonigan, did anybody else watch Son of a Digger drag racing on the Hoonigan channel yesterday? That was pretty awesome. You guys gave some thumbs up. People in the chat, you guys are awesome. You guys should head over to Fresh Squeeze RC. Give him a subscribe while you're here. He's got some really awesome stuff. RC Guy Garage is in the house. RC Guy Garage says they have vinyl stick-on broken glass for the Cyber. Fresh Squeeze RC, which Kyosho is he having trouble with? Well, he was just showing that he was having his 4Runner would kind of tip over forward whenever going downhill, coming off of rocks, or even just going down hills that were semi-steep. And so I don't know if it was drag brake, but he said it was the batteries being those heavy AAA metal-cased batteries all up front like that. And so he did a mod to put in a LiPo battery. That was what I was questioning when he was showing kind of his modifications for it. So here's the Hot Wheels Cybertruck. They have this one in stock still for $20. I don't know that the wheels actually spin on this. When I saw the video, it looked like there was something underneath it that ran it. Is interesting. Runs in their little tracks, the size of their little cars, 64 scale. Definitely looks like these drive wheels hit. I don't know as far as turning, if the front wheels turn or how it does it. Wasn't super awesome looking in the video, but this one I came in because I was like, I might could try it and see if we could, do it up and make it run. But yeah, I was kind of like, not so sure. But I couldn't do it anyway. It says sold out. So like, it's not even going to come out till December of 2020, and yet somehow they sold this whole thing out. Did Elon Musk buy them all? These are questions I have. Like, who paid $400 for this? RC Guy Garage, did you buy one to go with your full size, 1-to-1? Put it in the garage, look at it, dream about your 1-to-1 coming? Like, who bought these? I kind of think it was Elon Musk, but I don't know. All right, let me get back to the comments, because I asked a few questions to people, and I'm curious if there were any answers to them, because lots of people jumped in here and are talking to each other. General Hobbies, Fresh Squeeze is the man, got his RCs on Hoonigan. Yeah, man, he does really cool replicas of the Hoonigan vehicles, and they're awesome. And he can drive like a madman. So, yeah, he got on there and should have gotten on there. All right. All the good guys. Elon Musk is a fraud. That is one ugly car. You can use it as a ramp. That's funny. RC Guy Garage says rips, but definitely a 4S vehicle. And that is, he's talking about the people, I think we're asking about the Red Cat Kaiju. Hectaviticam says Son of a Digger was doing full length burnout down the track awesomely. Yeah, man, he was pumping that thing. I can't even believe he kept it under control with those big tires. All right, lots of trying to catch up here. I'm way behind. People asking for S Squeeze where he's from. Kurt's in here. So I do have questions about the there's some interesting comparisons that can be drawn between the Team Associated MT10 and the Red Cat Kaiju. Like the little electronics tray that sits right up there behind the shock tower looks very similar. The light layout bumpers kind of looks like a bigger version, although they definitely changed the chassis because that chassis sits higher. It looks like it's more like an X-Max kind of, or a Max look to it. But yeah. General Hobby says they brought the rival back as a 10 scale dude. Kind of a bummer. Yeah, it's not the same truck at all. It's not like that first rival at all. It's really based off of the Helion Avenge that was out before, which was an amazing truck. Epic RC says the first rival was a lemon. Fresh Squeeze says he's from Houston, Texas, but he's heading to Cali because I know he's got some stuff to do there. Hoonigan stuff, it sounds like, again. He's got some cool stuff coming. But I'm digging it. I can't believe the power that rival MT10 has on 3S, even 2S. It's alive. It's a lively truck. It likes to wheelie. And that wheelie bar being so high, it'll stand right up. It's pretty cool. But we're going to get it out bashed. It's been raining here the last 2 days. Even when I took it out the other night, it had just kind of stopped raining and sun was going down. It was overcast, so there's very little light left. And I just got what I could. But I didn't want to go and get it completely dirty the first time because I want to do some speed runs and stuff like that with it. If we can get it up to full speed, because it does stand up so easily. But yeah, we'll figure that out. But the Hoonigan truck, Epic RC says his name is Jack. Yeah, but I'm giving you name recognition for people that might be listening to go check out the Epic RC Video Productions YouTube channel. Shout out. So, the Hot Wheels Cybertruck limited edition. Let's look at a few photos of it. You know, it looks about as cool as the real one, whether or not you think it's cool. It's got the light bars front and rear kind of effect. Even has some of the functionality it looked like with the bed of it, which we'll see in the video. All-wheel drive, featuring chill or sport modes. I don't know what chill would be, but I'm curious what chill mode is on an RC. Sounds pretty cool. It's a 9.9 volt, 3300 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. 1-to-1 charge runtime. So that's interesting. However long you charge it for, you get to run it for. Is that what they mean? So if I charge it for like 20 hours, I'll get 20 hours of runtime out of it. Get free shipping for your $400, so that's good. Except for internationally. Not a whole lot of details. Every functioning detail will blow your mind and put you behind the wheel of this science fiction inspired hobby grade radio controlled vehicle that is off-road and rugged terrain capable. So buckle up and kick it into chill or sport mode to go up to 250 miles per hour scale speed. So it'll go 25 miles an hour. That ain't half bad. I mean, that's all that the Kyoshos go out of the box. Proportional steering. All right, Hot Wheels. I see you. All right, I'm going to jump back, though. We'll take a quick look at this video. Make sure we mute it. So you can see the scale of it here. It's a big car. I mean, it's 1/10 scale. I don't know if any of you guys actually looked at this thing or any videos of it, but the lights and all that are actually pretty cool. As well as the windows and stuff. The reflection on that's kind of chill. Is it half speed? Oh, look at that. They got the broken windows. RC guy wasn't joking. That's amazing. Hold on. We got to pause on that. Oh, scale details. They have thought of it all at Hot Wheels RC. I wonder, I mean, that's a cool logo. I wonder if we're going to see some more cool Hot Wheels RC from them. Got to get away from the Monster Jam stuff, that's for sure. I want to know, though, like, if you turn this on, this one I would think that aliens could listen to you, right? Talk to space with this Cybertruck. Yeah, those stick-on stickers are hilarious. The tiny one, not so impressed by. We'll show that one run. Kind of see how it spins the back end. Kind of just twists the wheels the opposite direction, it looks like. That ain't cool. But the big one's not, I mean, the rims are pretty cool looking. You can see the back end slides up to reveal the bed of the truck, which does flip down and actually pulls out to the ground. So you could actually ramp it, Jack. You could ramp it. Which I never say ramp it, but you could jump it. We want to know what the electronics are. Is this thing brushless or brushed? It's got to be brushed. 25 miles an hour, if that's 250 miles per hour scale speed at 10 scale. Huh. I don't know. What do you guys think? General hobbies, no other word. No. Activo Cam says he wants a Hot Wheels RC Bigfoot. That's going to be tough. I don't know. Probably the licensing is probably going to think that Traxxas has that locked up. But, well, that was kind of cool. Whatever it did there. Shot it out of a cannon to get that kind of speed. Look at that turn. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Would you have paid $400 for it? The Tank RC, $400, way too expensive. TSO Day, did you ever get my stickers? I did, buddy. I think I are even on my bench over there. I think it's stuck to my bench or my downstairs workbench. It's on one of my benches. I kind of split them between this bench and the garage bench. I've got lots of places that I like to put stickers. So thank you for those. So Jack says he wants one for $600 francs in in Australia. I think that's what he's saying at least. RC New Hampshire, oh man, $400 poop emoji times 2. Oh man, this is great. Should come with a Tesla battery for $400, right? That's what I'm with you, RC Propaganda. Now, can you charge this at the Tesla stations along the road? Another good question. Now, what we need, though, is New Bright to come out with like an $80 version of this that people can just gank the bodies off of. All right. The toy is $300 more than pre-ordering the real one. Oh, is this roof solar panels? Yeah, you're probably right, JMRCs. It's probably solar panels. Only here I am saying they're moon roofs. I don't think green enough. I think that's my problem. For $400, it should be working solar panels on the top. James R. likes the broken windows. I do too. That was great. Fresh Squeeze RC doubtful. That thing is ridiculous and not in a good way. I'm kind of torn between whether or not I like the looks of it. There's times I see it and I think that's going to change everything, seeing those things driving down the road. I like some of the angles of it when you see it. Like this angle right here. I think it looks awesome. I like that. The back end, I mean, remember what the Prius looked like when it first came out? That was shocking. All right, why didn't they show under the hood? I would have liked to see under the hood. I don't think they're going to. CJ Villaserin, your comments on the RC, the rival monster truck. I think it's cool. I like it. Based on it being like the Avenge, I think it's going to be decent. I mean, it's the BL60 60 amp ESC. I didn't say that in the video. I didn't want to be called out, say, oh, that's not what it is or whatever. You're wrong. But it's basically, it looks just like the 60 amp ESC. In fact, I'd actually said that. I said, I'm not going to say because, you know, they're going out of their way to not say what it is. But it looks like a 60 amp ESC to me by Hobbywing. But, yeah, I mean, but for 3S on that thing, it's just fine. So, yeah, I don't know. I've ever gotten the CNC Force wheels for the CEN Reaper. I did not get those. Those things are like $60 each, I think. So it'd be like $240 in wheels. And I'm not. If you guys know me, I hate to spend money on aftermarket wheels, right? I don't know what it is, but if I have like decent or even okay, I don't have it with me. Shoot. I just got some of the Hazard wheels. Somebody 3D printed for me. Came in the mail today. They're out in the car though. Can't show them. They look sweet though. Going full Hazard with the orange Charger. RC Guy Garage, when it's wrapped, it changes the looks. RC Propaganda thinks Tesla will go under the next 5 years. They have a tough time making money. Tesla in general. But yeah, I mean, this would be pretty easy to make with some styrene. The cyber will have collectible tied to it. Yeah, nobody's probably going to, I don't know many people that are going to open this up. They're going to hit eBay for $1,000 in January 2021. TSO Day will never concede that the Cybertruck is a truck. It has truck in the name, man. So of course it's a truck. I had somebody tell me that the rival MT is not a monster truck because it doesn't have chevron tires. Tony, sell me your American Force Reaper wheels. He'll swap in the V pattern wheels, the chevrons. So yeah, the government gave Elon he gets a lot of money for doing that stuff. It's tough. It's tough because it's just, my question is, how do we, we're so worried about the fossil fuels running out and what they're doing. It's kind of like, I don't know, where we're making all these changes and we don't know, and we're trying to say we're going to end the old way before we know the long-term effect of the new thing. And that's questionable to me until we know the impact of what people are going to do with all these batteries when they stop holding charge, potential fire hazards with crashes, all these, things that we're not sure about. So yeah. And how renewable is it? I know that getting the materials to make LiPo batteries is pretty destructive as well. So, you trade one destruction for another, and I don't know which one's the bigger evil. So yeah. And they say that we're running out of oil, and then they're like, oh, just kidding. We found loads of it. But, anyway, that's not for me to argue or to, I don't know enough about it. But I have questions. It's a conspiracy show, so we're allowed to have questions. My question is, why does Steve keep putting all these engines in his cars? Seems irresponsible to me. Yeah, fossil fuels to charge electric. You can't get away from it. The power grid, what kind of draw is that going to put on our power grid, which is already kind of right. So yeah, conspiracy wise, that's something. I just can't believe it sold out so fast, because I was literally heading over to get it, because I figured if get it on YouTube, you could get some views with it. I don't know why this page is loaded up. Shouldn't be. Traxxas. This one was supposed to be up because they just sent out this video about building the 100-mile-per-hour supercar during Engineers Week, and got me wondering again. JT and I were talking on the phone after we recorded the podcast with them, and this would be an interesting car for Traxxas to slap that new Camaro body on. It'd be pretty sweet if they did that. Make a few modifications. Slap a Corvette body on. Be kind of cool. I don't know. We're just thinking for you, Traxxas. You know how we do. What else is it we want from Traxxas, guys? Solid axle monster trucks. Military 6x6. Take that thing and stick a military body on it. Semi-truck. That's my number one. After solid axle monster trucks. That's my number two, I guess. I did math in school at one point, but that was a long time ago. All right, so yeah, here we go. Doing their little tease up with it. Supercar Engineers Week over here on the Traxxas page. Lots of people talking, I think, on the that's CEN Racing. So anybody that's late to the game, this was the other conspiracy we hit. Wow. Lots of people interested. Probably my most popular post in a while. So Michael Bosch showed this American Force that he saw at a car show that American Force was at, and they had these on display, and they're dualies. Check it out. Ford licensed body. Well, I don't know if it's licensed, but they're using all of the Ford decals. Ford F450, which they don't do on their other trucks, makes me think it's licensed. Like the Jimny body's licensed, and the B50 is licensed, and the HL150 is licensed as well. The Hyperlube. The Fiat Abarth is licensed. So a lot of their new ones are licensed. Makes me think this is licensed and could be coming. I like the blue one a lot. I like this blue. I feel like they nailed the Ford blue. I think it's a two-piece body based on the seam and what we saw underneath. Has a little bit of a bed instead of just being flat like a lot of trucks do. Really scale suspension on here. I feel like they did a decent job with this setup for the dually. I'm impressed. But here you see that line and what looks like a screw or something catching light here. So he just snapped some photos of this. There's nothing on the website about it. But Michael Bosch saw these. So apparently American Force has these. They were made for them or something. Looks custom because some of this definitely looks 3D printed. So will they hit the market or not? I don't know. But fingers crossed. We can hope. That's been hitting a lot of comments, pinging my phone. And then the monster truck community just lost Dave Pack, we just heard today, who had the hippie racing here in Virginia, Cloudbuster Racing. So pretty sad day there. Prayers go out to his family and all those who knew him well. So, yeah. So that's the news of the day, of the week. Oh, there was actually one other thing. J Concepts Regulator chassis. This one is what I'm waiting for. This was teased by J Concepts that they're going to be coming out with a Clodbuster chassis. And it looks amazing. And I'd love to have one. So the question is, when will this be available? And the hopes are there's a lot of big events coming up. There's the Solid Axle Showdown, and there is the No Limit RC World Finals. Now, at the RC World Finals, the past couple years, they've come with something that they're announcing. And then at the Showdown, I think it was last year, they announced the dually, the Crimson dually wheel setup that they had for the mud trucks. So it's possible. I don't know if they're just going to make the announcement then, because that was what happened with the Bog Hog truck. I was actually able to buy one of the bodies there, but they didn't have the sticker sets in yet. So I bought the body and then they mailed me the stickers. But yeah, General Hobby says he's watched races at Hippies for sure. Yeah, man. Bobake Altered RC said they were at SEMA. They were at SEMA, but we didn't get any close-ups of them. So they've been floating around. These are the first close-ups we've seen underneath the car as far as build of them. RC Voodoo says, I only want a monster truck if people around me have one. People all over the internet have them around you. But these, I mean, the Clodbusters, I just love the retro style Clodbusters. 27 turn brushed motor. They're like ladder style links that they do. Just bouncy, stiff. And I like what they've done here for giving a few options on setup. And I know J Concepts has thought it out. They've actually got like a behind the axle steering mod, which gives you more steering. So there's some interesting things that they've got for these. He talks through in detail about it in this video and details some of that. But you can tell there's still some parts that look like they might be 3D printed in there as they've been testing out different designs and all that. But they definitely do a lot of R&D on their stuff, and they put out really cool products. So had the pleasure of interviewing Jason, really cool guy, back at RC Fest. Got a real passion for the hobby and for monster trucks, which I love. Brad Kalman, I'm not sure. I just started seeing it hit Facebook this evening about him. So he's been to some of the races we've been to, like the Showdown, Solid Axle Showdown and that. And a lot of those guys, you know, the Showtime guys race with him. So it's really tough on the community for sure. Hey, Troy's Hobbies. Haven't been on in a while. How's everybody doing? Doing good here, man. Keeping busy. Got a whole bunch of boxes behind me, stuff I got to work on. The Kyosho stuff I've been working on because I want to do some Dukes of Hazzard stuff. And so I have, the closest I could find is the Chevelle. I've actually got a, I don't remember who makes it. It's somebody that makes a lot of drag bodies and stuff. I can't think of the name of the company. I'm blanking on it. RJ Speed, I think, body for it. And, but it doesn't come with any stickers, and that's a lot of work to try and paint all the light buckets and everything. So I think I'm going to skip on that and get the Kyosho Chevelle body, which isn't quite as scale looking as this for like the sedan look, but it's got stickers and stuff to kind of sell that whole front end of the car without looking too cheesy. So yeah, I was going to ask you if you'd show one of his videos. I believe it was on Showtime's channel. Yeah, you can say Hippies Drag RC. So here's one of them at Hippies. We can show. They did some crazy stuff there with the track layouts and figure eights and all kinds of crazy stuff. So this is just one showing it. That one's just a straight drag race. And then back. So actually, I don't think it was at his house where they did the figure eights. So it's an oval track on that one. So that was his drag track that he'd do. They did a lot of racing there. And Showtime invades it here. That's 4 years ago. Here's another monster drag race that they did. It was always fun stuff. Like they bring out the cars, they crush cars and all that, and have a good time. Yeah, here's a pretty crazy layout. Look at the cinder blocks. We don't want to hit those, huh? But just, you know, showing up at somebody's house, having a good time racing. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So again, guys, you can check this out at a later date on the RC Conspiracies podcast. You can basically rcconspiracies.com will take you there. It's also on Apple, and I think, let's see what it is on wherever you get your podcast, pretty much. Apple, listennotes.com, Chartable, Podbay, Pod Paradise, I think, maybe. Yep. So all over it gets streamed to. It's on Google as well, Google Play. So that one and my While My Battery's Charged. So if you guys like podcasts and you're into it, be sure to check that out. We're going to get ready to wrap up here, guys. I'm going to give one more quick look through the chat, see what's going on in here. And we'll go from there and see what we've got going on for wrapping up. Guys, thank you so much for all the comments, getting each other's questions answered, just hanging out with each other. You know, it's all about community, information as well, but community. RC Video wants to do monster truck comps like the real ones. Yeah, you do need someone else to compete. I'm actually looking at doing, hopefully, some races setting up that'll be kind of like ovals with monster trucks, where it'll be like timed racing. With one, it's an oval with one side being a whole like 10 jumps in a row, so it's easy to hit. So that you have time when you make mistakes, especially for kids. Like the racing we do is 13 seconds to 25 seconds and done. And so for kids to do that, you know, it's hard to get them interested. So having something where it's a little bit longer run time for them, where if they do mess up, they can still catch up and, you know, have a go at it. That's what I'm looking to do. Just because I've done oval and I've really enjoyed it now that I've done it. And yeah, so that's something I'm looking to do. But I'm also looking to do some retro racing, which is still the slow. I've got that Traxxas timing system, the drag timing system. And so that works for doing these type of monster truck races, the old school stuff. And even the new school stuff, actually. But, you know, they're short runs. You set up a course side by side, and you're basically trying to get to the finish line first. So I'm probably going to do that. Just keep it so it can be a short day, like 2 hours, hour and a half of just having fun running, and do a little qualifying, and then do some racing. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Mets RC's in the house as well. General Hobbies. Mets. How about that DNC Pro Line race on Live RC this weekend? Dirt Nitro Challenge was awesome. You're right, General Hobbies. See that guy get hit by the car? Almost hit him in the head when the marshals was getting off. And almost took it in the head. There was a whole post on that. People were going crazy. They were saying like Darwin Awards for the guy, but it was totally not his fault. It was supposed to be a no-run moment. But anyway, it's interesting. I was trying to see if I could find that post. Show you guys what it was. I'm trying to see here. I posted it somewhere. Don't remember where. Man, a lot of posts to look through here on Facebook to try and find it. Here we go. I found it. One last thing before we wrap, guys. Tons of comments. A lot of them on the question I had right here. So 24 replies. But was the car supposed to still be on the track? Guy in black quickly got off the track when he saw it and looked back like it shouldn't have been there. Seems like the car shouldn't have been ripping after the race when marshals are leaving their spots and new ones are arriving. But you can't tell much from the short clip. So I said that because somebody had said Darwin Award winner there. Wow. Which would infer that the person walking is doing something stupid to get hurt, not the person driving the car. And so I was trying to get a little clarification. So you can see here, somebody just has it on. They've got the instant replay up. This car, the only car on the track is the one thing I noticed. That guy jumps out of the way. Boom. Luckily, it mostly caught his shoulder. A little bit in the neck. I mean, if that would have hit square in the head, that would have been some real pain. Trying to see that. And that guy should have been looking a little bit ahead. That's what's crazy. Like scanning, surveying the track. I mean, look at where it's hitting right there by his ear. But he said that he, people was thinking he got knocked out. He said, no, it hit him, but he did, tripped on a little rut or something and fell down, but he got back up and in the comments says he's okay. But he was saying, yeah, they weren't supposed to be ripping. It was not a hot track. Yeah, General Hobby says, yeah, that's someone that's victim blaming. That guy should have been looking, know what's coming. Yeah, well, they said that it's not even supposed to be really running. So RC Video just got Tyson Fury in the ear. So, yeah, he was walking off the track. He maybe had his car. I don't know if he'd been running or he was probably getting ready to set a new car down for the next race. But I don't know. That was a crazy thing that happened. But yeah, lots of comments. 97 comments, almost 300 shares on that video. Craziness. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in to another one of the podcasts here. And we got more stuff coming, more RC profiles coming. I do have to say with some of these things, guys, I know that there's a lot of people that want to be in. I'm going to be reaching out to people because I've got a lot, but because I've got to be careful about age restrictions, all that kind of stuff. Pretty much if it's got to be over 18, unless there's parent involvement to okay things like that. Or I know the parents and I specifically reach out to them. As I'm trying to be very cautious because of the whole internet and the COPPA rules apply beyond YouTube. So I have to be very careful about how all of that goes. And yeah, I've got some good people lined up for the While My Batteries Charge podcast. And I've got a few more that I'm reaching out to. And I'm going to spread those out a little bit more because they do run a little bit longer. But you guys are awesome. The hobby is awesome. It's a great time to be in it. There's so much stuff that we have that we can do as far as types of racing we can do, from the drag to the comp crawlers to the buggies, monster trucks. I mean, there's a lot going on in the hobby right now, and it's really cool to see. Guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up on the way out. If you guys are listening to the podcast, be sure to leave us a comment or questions that you want answered in future podcasts, whether it's the While My Batteries Charge or the RC Conspiracies. And we will catch you next time, guys. The real question is, when is RC Guy Garage going to do his next live stream? See ya!